Back, well, Arsenal secured a 1-0 victory. It was an important victory, by the way, and we are just a game closer to secure our first trophy in 22 years, first Premier League trophy in 22 years. So, honestly speaking, it was a dominant game, but the result says otherwise because obviously Arsenal didn't score much goals, right? So for me personally, I think that wasn't a bad game. To be honest, that wasn't a bad game, and we did all we could to get the job done, which is what is important at this point in time. Given the fact that what is at stake is extremely high. So for me, I am happy that we got the victory, and I am delighted because Kai Havertz gave us now the only goal of that game, which made the difference. So as I had a lot of like, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that the game ended the way it ended, but I'm happy that we won because we created a lot of chances, which I think if we had scored like 3 goals, there shouldn't be anything bad in that. But right, at least we got the job done, which is what is extremely important at this point in time. So Arsenal started really well. I have to say they started really, really well. And the way we controlled the game, most especially in the first half, was exceptional. We didn't give Burnley a breathing space, and as well, I think what helped Arsenal against Burnley was that creativity in the team. Given the fact that Burnley were in a low block, and the creativity players like Odegaard and Eze helped Arsenal flourish most of the time in the first half. Like the way we controlled the game was brilliant, and the way we created the chances that we created was exceptional as well. So for me, I don't see any issue with the way we create in that game. The only problem I have is the fact that we could not score more goals than we did in that game, which is as well. It wasn't a bad thing because obviously sometimes you might create chances and not score so much goals. So I think that should improve, right? But at this point at this point of the season, all we need to do is just to get all the 3 points, which is what we did, obviously. And as well, I think in the second half, the way we made Burnley comfortable wasn't good enough for my point of view because we are leading 1-0, and I believe the way we control the first half, we should have replicated that in the second half. But I can understand that we don't want to commit more men forward and get caught out on counter attacks, and I know the reason why we played the way we did. But obviously, I think if we had controlled the ball the way we controlled it in the first half, I think we wouldn't have had some moment of worry because I was really, really tensed when we are closer to the end of the game, and Burnley were trying to get on the front foot. But obviously, at the end of the day, Arsenal gets what is important, which is the 3 points. Now to the discussion of the game. Number one is I'll start with Kai Havertz foul. I'll start with Kai Havertz foul. From my own point of view, I think Kai Havertz was lucky, right? I think he was lucky. To be honest, to be frank, we might just say that because he didn't put, like, the argument might be that he didn't put excessive force, but for me, it was just lucky because that was a red card tackle. Whether you apply excessive force or not, it was a red card tackle. It is a red card tackle because you cannot tackle a player high up the calf like that and not get punished. But I don't know why it wasn't given because the only argument I can think of in my head is that he didn't apply excessive force. That is the only argument that I can think of in my head for that foul, right? And as well, the penalty, the foul on Bukayo Saka. Obviously, every now and then I've been clamoring about incompetence from the officials in the Premier League, right? And again, today, the foul on Bukayo Saka inside the 6-yard box is a penalty anytime, any day. There's absolutely nothing anyone can tell me about it, right? Because the defender was behind him. That is number one. He was behind, and there's absolutely no way he can get to the ball before Bukayo Saka did. No chance. He didn't even make any contact with the ball, and he brought him that, like, the way all this incompetence from the officials, the way they get under the radar was not good enough from my own point of view. And for me personally, right, I do not understand them. I don't understand them. Few days ago, I think over the weekend, there was a handball by Brian Mbeumo in the match between Manchester United and Nottingham Forest, right? It was a blatant handball. They didn't award that penalty. They didn't award that, and the result of that was a goal for Manchester United. And now today we are seeing that PGML are admitting an error from the officials that handled that game, which is extremely bad. It is extremely bad. It is gross incompetence, right? Because I do not understand how they interpret all this, the so-called letter of the law. I don't understand it. I do not, right? And as well, Kai Havertz got Arsenal the only goal of that game from a set piece, which is from the corner. And we've played like 2 corners before the one that resulted in the goals, and we played this shot. And the third one was a direct ball into the box, and Kai Havertz was above anyone to put the ball into the back of the net. I think it is brilliant, by the way, from him. And this is the 18th goal that we will score from a corner this season, and that is the most that any team have scored in the Premier League this season. So for me personally, I think that was brilliant, right? That was brilliant, and that was the only goal that got us now over the line, which is extremely important at this point in time. Now, I would say the amount of chances that we created in that game, as I've said earlier, I do not think that we should have gotten nothing less than 3 goals in that game, right? We have Leandro Trossard who struck the crossbar. We have Martin Odegaard's chance, which was deflected out. We have Kai Havertz as well. We have Bukayo Saka's cross, which nearly go into the back of the net, and we have Eberechi's opportunity twice, right? So these chances should have ended in the back of the net. And for me personally, I think we did all we could, and we got the job done, which is extremely important at this point. And so I'm looking forward to Manchester City's game tomorrow, and I will be extremely happy if they drop point tomorrow because that will secure the trophy for Arsenal, right? That will secure the trophy. So these are just my thoughts about the game. Do your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it, and I will see you soon in another one. And bye for now.